What is up, boys? Merry Christmas. This is going to be the final tier list of the year. This one is just straight up Yuri's Revenge player tier list. I made the criteria very clear here, so there's less confusion and less, oh, this guy's not a C-class player, this guy, you know what I mean? It says straight up why these people are placed where they are. And if you have a problem with your placement, again, you can prove it by playing show matches, getting better ranks, finishing top 5 and ladder, whatever it may be. Um, but yeah, let's get into it and get started. Okay, we're starting out with Knob. He's been on a tear lately, destroying all the intermediate players, winning the tournaments. I think he's won back-to-back intermediate tournaments. So I would say at this point he's a pro. Um, and he's pretty much taken out every single intermediate player in show matches recently. So yeah, I would put him at the pros with holes because he's obviously a RE2 player. This is a Yuri's Revenge list, and the thing about uh, RE2 players in general, and specifically Nob here, he does not like to play against the Yuri faction, and that's a big problem in terms of rating because that's a huge part of the game. You have to learn to play against Yuri. It's kind of like if I was like, oh, I if I was a Yuri player, like the Yuri faction, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I could beat allied, I could beat any allied player, but if somebody goes Sov, then I lose 100% of the time. Like that's then I wouldn't be rated very high. I would be right there with them. But yeah, so I think that's a fair ranking for Nob. He's gonna have to grind quick match and learn to face the Yuri faction if he wants to get any higher. I could see him going up to B easily if he really wanted to, but I think he plays for fun mainly, just hanging out on his bed on his laptop, just playing FFGs or just destroying intermediate players. But yeah, so that's where we'll put him. Let's continue on. All right, so we've got Snark here. I would put him in intermediate. He's like a mid to high intermediate. Murray, same thing pretty much. I would put him around the area, same area. All right, Alex, kill me not. He would be probably above Knob. Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah, Chris, same thing. It's just uh RA2 player refuses to learn Yuri's Revenge. Decent in Silver Sov and Sov vs Allied, but just not a complete free win against Yuri. All right, Steve is next. Put him in the same category. That is probably lower than Chris. Again, when people look at this list and they're gonna be like, "Oh, these guys aren't C-class players." They're C-class players in my rating where like S is just the top 3 players. You know, A is the top 10 players, and then B are pro players. C players are pro players with huge weaknesses that are exploitable. So it's like I seen a tier list. What was it? I think it was for the crew battle, and they had Ed in S class. So it's like stuff like that is just funny. But anyways, let's get back to this. Alexander would be Bros with holes. Huggy, Hoogie, however you say it. Same thing. It's probably they're about the same, but I'll just put them like Jared. Where would we put Jared? Right, same thing. I feel like there's gonna be a lot of people in C class. Jared against Knob, that would be a good series. See, the thing is, Jake is, I would say, this is a good example of the difference between like somebody like Chris, who's arguably better than Jake in like non Yuri matchups. But Jake is actually not bad against Yuri, and he's just an all around like a mid pack player. So you can't just counter pick him. You'd have to play. He's okay at all the matchups. So I would rate him higher than someone like Chris or Steve. All right, Heldro. Pretty much the same as. I mean, almost all these guys are the same. They're kind of regular 2 players who refuse to learn the game. So you can't rate them very high. Tavin. Okay. He's a quick matcher. Pretty low level player. I'd probably put him in intermediate. Pizza Guru. Same thing. I think he would also be intermediate. Leo. A class. Legend S. Ben CNC. So would he be, let's see, intermediate or FFG? Put him here for now. I think he quick matches, doesn't he? We'll put him there. Aiko, FFG player. See, it's not exactly like these are pretty much the same thing. It's just if you're not actively playing quick matches or show matches or anything like that, then we're just gonna place you in the FFG players right below it. Laser, he plays again. This is let's see. Yeah, I think that he's probably better than Ben. Revo. Some of these guys that like Desolate and stuff, I could have probably removed them because I think I haven't seen them in months. Maybe they're playing under a different nick now, but it's kind of hard to rate them when they're just not playing. You know, there's a lot of lower level players like that where they're interchangeable. Smoke, one of the best intermediates for sure. Tim, solid A. Karik, he's FFG player. I think he could have been very good, like probably top 15. if he took the game serious and wanted to get better and improve and like he's decent. He's a decent player, but he's just an FFGer, so gotta rate him low. Seal another mid level intermediate. The Doof. I think Doof is the strongest intermediate here. Papa. This one's tough because he's an FFG player pretty much. Um, yeah, I mean it's not that tough, I guess. Just again, if you want to be rated higher, then you just play show matches and quick matches. Like he doesn't play quick match, and he never does show matches, so he's an FFG player. So we'll rate him lower than, let's say, someone like uh, Ben CNC, who he's probably better than, but you have to show it, you know? So he can challenge Ben to a show match, or any of these guys, really. And then if he wins, then we would put him up. But for now, we'll put him in FFG. Cruiser, another solid A. I think he's stronger than Tim, to be honest. Both are kind of inactive, so it's it's tough to rate it. Especially Tim, he's doesn't play Yuri's Revenge much at all. Cruiser will take months off, but then he'll just show up randomly and play a decent amount of games in a month. Tim's just not playing really. Not sure if we should. This one's kind of tough. Like, let's see. We'll go back to that a little bit later. Once we got the final one up there. Hit and run. Intermediate. Uh, does quick match. Maybe this shouldn't be bottom three. Maybe this should just be. Eh. Let's go with this for now, and then we'll see how it works out. All right. Lot of Litov. I think he's a step above, like, even with him being a clear Red Alert 2 player, I don't feel like he belongs in C class where, well, I mean, this isn't C class like the normal C class where people would put like Doofus and stuff. This is a bit different rating. This is pros with holes, so basically pros with holes in their game. I don't really feel Ladov has a hole in his game. Like I think he can use Yuri. Like I would say if he used Yuri, he's beating these guys, right? Any of these guys. And then if any of these guys use Yuri, I'm sure he's gonna beat them with Soviet. So it's not like you can exploit it just by going a faction against him. You have to be like a top guy to beat him in his weaknesses. So yeah, I would put him a solid B. He might even move up to A. We'll see. We'll see how many A's there are and stuff, and then we'll go from there. Okay, Kane. Kane's FFG player. Let's put him there. Water FFG player. MJ same thing. Matt same thing. This is going pretty smoothly. All right, Necrons. intermediate. Let's see. Probably right here. Lloyd, also intermediate. I think that looks pretty good. Ivor, Taja. He's a bit stronger than a lot of in terms of overall. He's very good against Yuri. So that's his specialty. And then he's competent against Sov and Allied. The head to head, like I would say Lada would beat him head to head, Sov or Sov, but Kintaja has more matchups that he's favorable in against the field. Like if they're both in quick match and randomly matching people, I would say that favors Kintaja since if he matches a Yuri player, he has a high chance of beating any Yuri. And if Lada matches a Yuri player, he has, based on who it is, very lower chances. Ledo, Ludwig, Ludo, whatever his name is. I'm not sure where he'll go yet. Put him here for now. He might be an A as well. I'm kind of doing it like, um, the so S class is only 3 players, no matter what. Even if there's like a lot of great players, and then A class is only 10 people. That way, it's like it's graded on scale, so it's more accurate in my opinion. Because it's really dumb when there's a tier list and then there's like like 12 S class players, and it's like that's not what S class means. S class means the very best, and then there's just 12 of them. Then everyone else is A class, and it's like it's funny. All right, Luke quick match. He's not great, but he might be better than these guys. He's probably pretty close to Lloyd. Not sure who's better. I would say Snark is better than him though, so put him there. Sash, legend of the game. Very inactive though. We can't put him too high. I'll have to put him in the pros with holes because he's also a RA2 player at heart. Put him below Chris though. Chris is actually active. I mean, not really on Yuri's Revenge, but he's a lot more active than Sash. Gino, pretty much the same as all these guys. Frank, Root, Berg, Berg's a weird one because it's like I almost want to put him intermediate, but definitely can't put him pro. I think yeah, that's fine. I could see Steve beating him pretty much in all matchups, probably having a close series, and then Gino or anybody else would beat him pretty easily. And I think him and Nob are like he can go Yuri and beat Nob probably comfortably, but I think they're pretty even. Like I would even favor Nob in a non-Yuri matchup. But since this is Yuri's revenge, I would take Berg in that series. Netflix. Another guy that's been inactive forever. Or he's just using another nick. Hmm. See, the way I'm rating things, or it's making it kind of hard to rate some of these players. Like, I wouldn't say he has. Well, his holes are probably that he can only play Yuri, really. And he's not great with Yuri. But he's probably better than most of these guys, to be honest. Mikos, Doggo. I mean, he's fucking Swiss cheese. He's got more holes than anyone, but he somehow gets wins and he grinds, so put him right there. He's above Frank, I think. Frank was more active than we can talk, but yeah, I think that's fair. HC. Him and Mikos are pretty close. I would say Mikos is more of a Yuri's Revenge player though than HC, so I'll give him that. I know that HC doesn't like the Yuri faction. Mikos doesn't like it as well, but he's played a lot of games against Yuri and he knows how to deal with it a bit better. Other than that, they're pretty much the same player, I would say. Ed. A lot of these guys are pretty much the same player. Yeah, I think would favor both Sash and Chris against Ed. I think Ed would edge out everybody else. He might struggle against some of the Yuris, but overall, I would say he's a little bit stronger than these guys. Albert, I haven't seen him in a while either. I think he's a Yuri player that would give Ed some problems. I think they would have a pretty good series. Pretty close. Max. Pretty much the same as all of these guys, right? Like, so classic Sove. Red Alert 2 players who do not like Yuri. Max has looked pretty bad lately, to be honest. Gunman. I think I'm just gonna throw him in FFG players. Obviously, he can be a bit higher than that. Like, without question, he could beat all of these guys. But he doesn't play quick match, so. Or show matches or tournaments or anything, so. Gets his rating, you know? Rick, another intermediate. I think he's like right here. I've just seen him getting rolled by everybody recently. I know Knob took him out like 2 series in a row. Luke's, I haven't seen him in a while either. Lots of players are inactive right now. Holidays and stuff. Luke's is. Him and Leo are pretty close, I think. V-Dubs, FFG player. I know he plays Red Alert 2, I think. And I'm pretty sure he plays Yuri's Revenge every month on Secret Nicks. But I don't know his nicks, so I'm just gonna put him in FFG. Zed. Not sure what his nick is this month, but I know he's active. He's always active. I think Zed and Knob are pretty even. I think that might be the series that we need to have. Um, Zed versus Knob. Correct me if that's ever happened, but I think that's a good one right there. Zas. Okay, almost all the A's are there. Osama. Path. Marsh. Artie. He might be an A. I'm not sure. These two, not sure where they'll go. Just gonna put him there for now. Zane. He's very, very inactive. Uh, he's chose to play. When he does play, he's chosen to play Red Alert 2. Pretty much only. I don't think he plays Yuri's Bench at all. But I mean, he's well rounded either way. Sunny. I think that would be a good series to see. Sunny against Zane. I think they're pretty even right now because both are inactive. Lagzat. Buffalo. FFG player. Gene. Another inactive player. But I should have just made an inactive list. Let's throw everybody in there. Alright, Gene. What is this guy's name? Adam, I think. FFG player. Just keep bringing him, keep pushing him down. Alright, Laszlo, FFG player. Uh, Kian, a very strong player. Not too active, but was rank 1 last month or the month before. Guard, another FFG. J card, same thing. Look at this guy. Okay, so let's figure out us three real quick. I've been rank 1 7 times this year. Legend's been rank 1 3 times this year. Marco and Kian have been rank 1 once this month, or this year. Um, but Marco pretty much always beats Legend in show matches. Marco did win the tournament that we had. I think I'll put him above Legend. If he was, the thing is, Marco and Legend have both been avoiding me. I've been calling them out for the last 2 months, and they've been bailing show matches against me constantly. So we don't have a lot to go off of in terms of show matches recently. So we'll have to go off the 7 rank ones I had this year and the 1 that Marcos had this year. And I think that makes me clear first. Alright. Ronaldinho. If he's intermediate. He quick matches, right? I believe so. Wait, Blazer is an FFG player. Platinum. I forget. They're like the same skill level, but I forget who's better. I think Platinum's better. Boss. It's 8. So would these three be? Is this 10? That's, I mean, that's 11, but I guess that we'll fix it. And these guys are pretty much interchangeable as well. Apple's active and Mueller's missing, so Apple, you've got. Oh wait, what am I doing? There we go. Apple top seed, the bottom 3. Not bad. All right, so let's look over a few of these and move them around. So first things first. Let's see. I think everything's pretty good. We might just have to move one of these guys down because that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Think old Timmy boy might be dropped down to B class. Yeah. I hate how it does that. That it breaks it like that. I almost want to put him back up to A just to fix that. Okay. Kian was rank 1 recently, so I'm gonna put him at the top of A. Quas is a very strong player, so he's right there. Leo's perennial top 8 player. Luke's Luke's and Zas are pretty close in skill, but Zas does avoid Luke's, so I will keep that. Cruiser, a bit inactive, he can be higher if he played more, and then Kataja, that's like, he's always like the number 10 guy basically. So yeah, I think this looks pretty good. Now let's do B real quick. These are fine. Check out B. Artie and Marsh are pretty close in skill. I would say Artie is a bit better against Yuri, so that favors him. I'd actually throw Ludo above both of them. He's pretty. Ludo's kind of underrated, I think. He's pretty good with all factions. He's good at against all factions, I should say, as Soviet. And then he'll bring out his little allied every now and then, and bring out Korea for some reason. And then he can go Yuri and be very annoying against allied. Uh, but he can't he can't really play Yuri against Soviet. But his Sov in general is pretty strong against everything. I definitely think he's pretty underrated. Um, all right, yeah, this all looks pretty good. Pretty happy with it. Let's go down here a bit. Let's see. I think probably throw Chris above Albert. Sash as well. This looks pretty good. Doofus top intermediate. Yeah, I'm liking it. Got the FFG players in the bottoms. Yeah, I think that's a good list right there. So this is the final list of the year, boys. Um, yeah, I'll be bringing back a few. I mean, I have a few ideas for future tier lists, like like most toxic players, most exciting players, stuff like that. And we'll find some other things, but we'll be doing those in January. This will be the final one of this year. I'll update this list probably in like 4 months. But yeah, that should do it. This is the list, and hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe, all that stuff. Leave a comment. Tell me how you would change the list. Also, I'll put a link in the description so you guys can actually make your own list with this group of players and sort them however you want. You can post them on Discords or something. But yeah, just tell me where you think I messed up and stuff like that. It'll be fun to reading these comments. uh, Reading all the hate. I know there's gonna be a lot of people like, "Oh my God, Marco should be one," blah blah blah. But I mean, the stats speak for themselves. Rank one 7 times in a year. That's pretty good. And he's only rank one time this entire year. All right, guys. Enough talking. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.